Revenue dropped by nearly 10% in just 3 years. Hundreds of stores closed, 25,000 employees and their families gone. For a company once seen as the heartbeat of American retail, this isn't just a decline, it's a funeral. Best Buy used to be where Americans touched the future. Now, there's only silence. If you grew up in the 90s, you remember it. The hum of televisions, the glow of neon blue, the scent of new plastic. Weekend trips with your dad to buy that first TV or computer. Best Buy wasn't just a store, it was an experience, a memory. But today, those memories echo only through empty aisles and flickering signs. How did the green and gold symbol of innovation collapse? How did a company that once defined the American dream fade into the shadows? Let's rewind to where it all began. The dream, 1960s, Minnesota. While America dreamed of the moon, one man dreamed of sound. Richard Schultz mortgaged his house to open a tiny shop called Sound of Music. First-year revenue, just $73,000. But inside that small room, filled with cassette tapes and buzzing speakers, something bigger was being born. An idea that technology could make life better. Schultz didn't just sell speakers, he sold excitement, that moment when sound becomes real. Within 5 years, revenue exploded, from $9 million to $239 million. By 1993, it reached $1.6 billion. Best Buy became the new American dream, from a garage store to a technological empire. In the late 90s, Best Buy didn't just sell electronics, they sold the feeling of touching the future. Their stores glowed like beacons across the nation. Visiting Best Buy became a weekend ritual for millions, where families saw the first flat screens and teenagers fell in love with technology. A man once said, "I still remember my dad taking me to Best Buy to buy our first TV. That's where I learned to believe in the future." But as America stood under Best Buy's blue lights, a silent revolution began, one that couldn't be seen or touched. The internet storm. While customers crowded the stores, Amazon was teaching them something new, that you could buy anything with just one click. Best Buy's walls still glowed, the aisles still buzzed, but the clock had already started ticking. Soon, Best Buy became what it never wanted to be, a showroom for Amazon. People came to touch, test, and leave, buying later online for less. Revenue began to fall. Between 2009 and 2014, same-store sales declined year after year. Forbes called it, "Why Best Buy is Going Out of Business." The collapse wasn't sudden, it was slow, silent, like a TV losing signal, the image fading to black. While the world moved online, Best Buy stayed behind. Customers no longer needed to step inside a store. The warning signs were everywhere, but inside the blue and gold walls, no one wanted to see. All empires fall, not from one great blow, but from the quiet moments when they stop listening. The revival by 2012, Best Buy was on life support. Then came Hubert Joly, a Frenchman from the travel industry, tasked with saving the unsavable. He didn't start with numbers, he started with people. "Let's not fight Amazon with price," he said. "Let's fight with our hearts." He launched Renew Blue, cut billions in costs, rebuilt supply chains, and turned warehouses into e-commerce centers. For the first time, Best Buy could price match Amazon. Sales grew. The stock soared over 200%. Moody's upgraded their credit rating. Analysts called it one of the greatest comebacks in American retail history. Best Buy had found its soul again, or so it seemed. The second storm. Then came 2020. COVID changed everything. Physical stores went dark overnight. Revenue plunged nearly 10% in months. 70 stores closed. 25,000 employees gone. While Amazon doubled in size, Best Buy's greatest strength, its in-store experience, became its biggest weakness. They adapted fast, investing in online shopping, 2-day delivery, and virtual consultations. But the world had moved on. Once people got used to buying with one click, they never came back. Foot traffic fell 20%. Stores became ghost towns, bright lights, few customers, empty smiles. The fall of trust. Then came the scandal. A CBC Marketplace investigation revealed that over half the refurbished products on Best Buy's online marketplace failed quality standards. Some were even recalled devices, sold again as like new. Customers were shocked. "Don't buy from the marketplace," admitted one employee. "It's third party. We can't control it." Trust, the last thing Best Buy still owned, was gone. When a brand can no longer protect its customers, it stops being a brand. it becomes a shadow of what it once was. The hollow shell. To cut costs, Best Buy replaced veteran experts with temporary staff. The warmth disappeared. The human connection, gone. The magic of walking into Best Buy and feeling the future, replaced by silence and fluorescent light. Best Buy once inspired belief. Now it inspired nostalgia. Because Americans don't just buy with their wallets, they buy with their hearts. And when the heart leaves, revenue follows. By the time management realized it, it was too late. They weren't leading anymore. They were reacting, copying, surviving, shrinking. No empire falls in a day. It falls through 1,000 ignored cracks. Best Buy didn't lose because Amazon was stronger. They lost because they stopped changing. They had everything they needed to win. They just weren't brave enough to reinvent themselves. Best Buy wasn't just a store, it was a dream. And like every dream, it eventually fades when the world wakes up. Best Buy, the empire that forgot why it was loved. When Amazon emerged, Best Buy still believed one simple thing. No one can replace the feeling of seeing, touching, and trying a product. They saw the internet not as a revolution, just a side tool. But by the time they realized Americans loved shopping from their sofas, it was already too late. Best Buy's website was clunky and outdated. Its checkout was slow, its pricing rigid, and its delivery expensive and late. Meanwhile, Amazon Prime was delivering almost anything within a single day. The result? Customers still went to Best Buy to look, but bought on Amazon instead. A phenomenon called showrooming. And unknowingly, Best Buy became the stage for its own competitors. But the real reason they lost wasn't technology. It was belief. They didn't believe the world was truly changing. A business still alive, but without a pulse. In 2024, Best Buy still exists. It still reports a profit, small, fragile, enough to stay afloat. But the soul has left those walls. Customers shop online, the staff are fewer, the smiles rarer, and the stores that once buzzed with energy now stand like forgotten warehouses. Best Buy once won with trust, with people, with experience. But they forgot something crucial. Those things are more fragile than revenue. They live not in spreadsheets, but in the hearts of customers. From a brightly lit showroom to a deserted ghost town, Best Buy didn't collapse overnight. It simply faded, disappearing into its own silence. The full circle of an empire. From Richard Schultz's small store in 1966 to a retail empire that dominated America, and now to dusty shelves and closing signs, Best Buy has completed the full life cycle of a business. Birth, growth, glory, decline. But what people remember isn't the numbers, it's a feeling. That first time you walked into a Best Buy store, the hum of hundreds of screens, the gleam of new gadgets, the belief that the future was right in front of you. For decades, Best Buy wasn't just a place to shop. It was a memory. A place where fathers took their kids to see the first flat-screen TV, where young couples picked out their first phone together, where employees in blue shirts smiled and said, "Let me help you find something amazing." The human cost. And then, one by one, the lights went out. Blue and yellow signs faded, parking lots emptied. For lease signs replaced the words, "Now open." At its peak, Best Buy had 180,000 employees across the US. When the crisis came, tens of thousands were laid off. They weren't just workers, they were believers. Geek Squad technicians who stayed up all night recovering lost family photos. Sales associates who remembered repeat customers by name. People who lived in small towns where Best Buy wasn't just a job, it was stability. When the stores closed, they lost more than a paycheck. They lost a sense of purpose. One former employee said through tears, "I helped customers pick TVs for Super Bowl night for 15 years. Now, I can't afford to buy one for my own kid." A simple line, but it captures the tragedy of the American working class. Loyal, hardworking, and left behind by a world moving too fast. The silence after the storm. Every empire has a moment of quiet, when the lights are still on, but the warmth is gone. Best Buy is still open, but the energy that once filled its stores has vanished. The curious kids, the weekend families, the friendly staff, they're gone. Now people come only to complete transactions, not to explore, not to dream. The stores are alive, but only technically. It's a mechanical kind of life.